You know that feeling when you're living day to day, like doing the same things and waiting for something to change and nothing changes? So then you wait a little more and nothing changes again. And it's just like, okay, so then that means the only change to come is the end of it all. Um, I feel that too. And if you feel that too, then I want to say something interesting about how I really don't think that sometimes, because life is just so uneven and uncertain, things won't change ever. Sometimes they'll stay the same. I mean, there's people in history that have fought their entire lives for a cause, for something to change, to have justice in the world, or just fight for human life and equality or a purpose. And they fought for it, and they had never seen that change ever. Like, they didn't even see an ounce of it. All they saw was just blood and their efforts, but no results. And similarly, there has been people that have fought their entire life and found the result at the end of it. So I think life is just so circumstantial that just by thinking that you won't see change, that doesn't mean that you failed. Your success isn't by what you can see in front of you. It's about the effects that it has over time and in the moment too. You'll never know what you did and like the effects of what you did in your lifetime if that's what the circumstances are. And for me, like particularly, I wish I could change something. I wish I could change the world to be better and kinder and more empathetic. And I have very specific um perspectives on stuff, things that I believe are harmful, things that I believe kill people, like institutionalized religion and things that have made me suffer. I wish I could abolish those things in my lifetime. But what are we talking about? We're talking about things and ideologies with millions and millions of subscribers. You can't do anything to that. And just because I, a small human, one person out of the billions, and maybe there's many more, that believes that there's something wrong going on, doesn't mean anything's actually going to change. And that is a hard truth that I will always try to fight. Um, I don't think I'll ever accept the fact that my existence can bring no change, no change on a grand scale. Um, yeah, I just wish I could get back at those things that hurt me my entire life. But I never will be because the forces are way too unfair. I'm one person and they are billions. And not only billions in population, they are billions in power. And I'm not only specifically talking about things that hurt me, just things in general, things that cause human suffering, things that um ultimately lead to human death. Don't we want to prevent that? We want to seek happiness for all, and we think that all children deserve the right to live and exist freely. Because in the end, we are all children. We are all innocent until we are involved. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was just thinking about how people often see a life as a failure or a success or something tragic or something memorable. And I just think that's so dehumanizing. I mean, you basically took the entire human experience out of a life. Like for example, if someone decides to end their life, I mean, how can you say that that was tragic or that their death defines their entire person now? because it technically does. When you constantly think about that, you basically negate everything that made them part of the human experience. You negate all of their feelings, all of their beliefs, and the things that they fought for, and you reduced them to something that they couldn't control, because you can't really control that in a lot of situations. So similarly, it's like when people say, okay, I'm kind of losing flow here, but it's like when people say stuff like, it will get better. That's just, that is circumstance. That is bias. That is circumstance because we don't know what will happen, and that is bias because that's what maybe you have seen in your life, or you have seen in someone else's life, and they have seen in someone else's life. But no, it's not ultimate truth. It will never be truth. Same way you can't say that things will get worse. So there is no truth. There is just possibility and chance. Because what are the odds that a child is born and then on the child's 10th day they die of a disease? What do you like? The child didn't estimate if it will get better or not. The chances just occurred naturally, and there was no way to stop it. There was no way for that child to bring change into this world. And there was no divine order that claimed that this child was going to bring anything to this earth. Yet, without divinity, we can believe that this child was still important to the earth, even if he lost it for 10 days. So, change isn't visible, always. It's not always something you can see. It can happen throughout time, beyond time. We don't even know what time is. We don't even know what eternity is. We claim that we know an eternal life, but we have no words to describe it ourselves. So, I think we should just, I think I need to remember that nothing is bound to any certain saying or any certain belief. Things will always change, no matter what we think, but change doesn't come in the same form that we think or predict. It comes in many different forms, and it comes before and beyond time, and after time. So yeah, don't, like, we can't reduce life to failure and success. Like, if you really care about human experience, you just can't do that. It's just impossible. You can do it for your own well-being and to achieve happiness and contentment and self-actualization, but you can't do that to generalize it to everyone and say that if I failed, this person succeeded, and vice versa. And many people will just think I'm coping. They'll be like, okay, that's just a cope, just get better. But no, sometimes being a loser is actually important, and being a winner, quote, winner and loser, is being important, because you get to see change in different ways. Both sides get to see that, and none is a failure or a success. They're just both different, alternate versions of the human experience. So that's why I think it's very important for people to understand change, because change exists, but we just never know what it is. We will never know what change is. And I want to end off by saying that if you are feeling some type of way about life right now, just know that you probably feel hopeless, as I I am. Some of us feel hopeless, like there's no change ever coming. or there's nothing that's going to get better. And that's okay. You can feel that way because that is very human. I mean, if things haven't changed for a while now, it's just only reasonable to expect that it won't change. I mean, as children, when things started to get better, we would expect that they would continually get better. So, similarly, if they don't change for the better, or if they remain static, then similarly, we're also going to expect the same type of paralysis and the same um, movement. There's no movement. So, you can't really blame the human. You can't really tell him to just never give up and remember that things always get better. Because no, we don't know what will happen. We don't know if anything will get better. And that might sound very pessimistic, but no, it's just the reality. Because when you tell someone that it will get better, as I already said, that is so much bias, like kind of survivorship bias. And secondly, you're putting them on the edge. They're on a cliff where they can't see anything. It's just fog. And you're telling them that there's an island that they need to get to, which they can't see. They can't see the boat on the shore either. So what you're telling them to do is just fall and find their way somehow till it just gets better eventually. And the bias comes from people that did live this experience, and they said, "Hey, I did go through this, and it did get better." And yes, that's great. Okay, that is great that you did get better and you survived. But I'm sorry. Did we forget the sorry, the numerous people that didn't? And are you going to say that they failed or they gave up or that they didn't believe in themselves enough or that they weren't perseverant or that they weren't like optimistic? I mean, come on. They lived an alternate human experience. It's still the same human experience. They weren't a failed version. They weren't a success. I can't fucking talk. They weren't a failed version. They weren't a success. They were just another version of you that somehow like went through more harm or didn't survive in the end. So yeah, we kind of need to cut that out and just remember that change comes in many forms, and it can come after everything's done, after our time here. And there is no such thing as eternity, and if it's real, it's not in our physical form, because if there was something such as eternity, then we would know how to describe it. Maybe it is, maybe it does exist, honestly. I'm not really sure myself, but what I do know is that no one is being punished for eternal burning. That's all I'm sure of. Not my friends, not you guys, not me. Because that is a life that never deserved that. That was very unrelated, but I don't even know why I said that. But yeah, okay. Bye.